Would you like to master shapes and animations in Android Jetpack Compose by bringing this cute night nature scene to life with me? In this two-part series, I guide you step by step through crafting delightful visuals using shapes, animations, and other powerful Jetpack Compose features, all within your Android app. In part 1, this video, you'll learn how to draw composable shapes and animate them with smooth, infinite cyclic motion, creating a relaxing and natural effect. Then, in the second video, the next one, where it is in the future, we'll bring our little bat character to life with real-time streamed animation data. You'll discover how easy it is to animate your composable on dynamic sources, whether that's from a network request, external files, or even directly from your view model, as we'll do for simplicity. So grab your coffee, sit back, and let's dive into Jetpack Compose together. First, head to the Shapes in Compose section of the Android docs and explore the Rounded Polygon API. You can adjust vertex count and roundness to craft your shapes. Here you can also find morphs. Morphs are hybrid shapes that blend two rounded polygons, in this case a rounded triangle and a square. Also with an animatable blend percentage. We're gonna use all of these things. Then go to the bottom of the page and open this article. Here you can find a link to a GitHub repo. Check it out, it's called Shapes in Compose. Clone it and run it on an Android device. Then start to tweak parameters and create your own shapes and morphs. Everything you create here mirrors the Rounded Polygon API one-to-one, so anything you build can also be implemented with the API. Use it to explore shapes. One interesting shape we're gonna use is the pill star. The pill star is just a blending between a pill and a star, and we're gonna use it for our grass and our clouds. Are you ready to start creating our app? Create a blank Android Jetpack Compose project, we'll call it My Colorful App, and delete the default content. We're gonna create a blank screen. Then we create a main screen and transform it into a composable function. Now we create some utilities to get the screen width and the screen height, which is useful to position our elements. And then we start creating the shapes of the clouds. So we create our first polygon, which is a star with a lot of vertices and zero roundness. Now, as you may see, we want it to be a bit animated. So as you may see in the documentation, we can create an animated morph between two different shapes. For the sake of simplicity, we first create a morph between the same shapes, so the start and the end shape will be the same. Then we create two different shapes. One will be a star and one will be a pill. So we create our grass and clouds morph. So the start and the end, just for now, would be multiple verts poly. So we have seen how to create a morph shapes. Now let's see how to draw it. First thing to do is to transform it into a composable path, and for this we can just copy and paste this utility class that does the work for us. Then after convert it to a compose shapes and passing a percentage between the start polygon and the end polygon, we're gonna use the primitives inside the box composable function, which are the draw with cache, which stores in the cache the shapes we want to draw, and on draw behind that transforms these shapes into a path and draw it. We copy and paste it into our project. And we extend our utility class to return just a path and not an outline. So here we can take the morph and just return a composable path, which we can draw. Then we add a feasible offset and size according to the offset and size we want to give to our clouds. Now we're gonna delete the stuff we got from the documentation, as we want to create our hybrid morph shape. So we use the utility function to transform it into a path, and we pass the percentage, which right now is just 100% towards the end, as it's the same shape, but we're gonna change the end shape right now, and we transform it into a compose path. So we draw path, set a color, and then important, we want to translate and scale, because you have to scale to the size of the box and translate the size of the box. This is very important. And in order for all of it to be visible, you have to put it inside a box with fill max size. And right now we start creating a transition with an animation progress to what's that? So it's a loop that repeats itself every 4th second. And here we can and you can find everything on the documentation page because it's the same loop. So after creating the animation loop, we want to actually animate the... So after creating the loop, we actually want to animate the morph, so we create a second polygon for the morph, and it's just an octagon polygon. And set the octagon polygon to the end shape of the morph. Then, instead of 100% static percentage, we set the value of the animation we just created. Okay, so we take the ground grass progression and plug its value inside of the percentage. As you see, right now is animating from the initial value 0, that is the multiple verts poly, to the target value, which is the octagon poly. We want to be less octagonish, so we set the target value to 0.6, and here we are with the clouds. Right now we just create another cloud by copy and paste the box of the cloud and just change the offset and a bit of the size. And right now we start creating the other assets of the scene. First thing is to create a pill star. That is a blending between a pill and a star. This pill star is going to be used for the trunk of our tree. Then we create another pill star for the tree leaves, adding some roundness. Great, now it's time to create the bat shape. First, import some utility function, copy from the documentation, and paste into the project. Those utilities are used for creating a rounded polygon just from a set of points. Copy and paste the code for the shape heart, that we're going to use it for the bat. And right now we want to blend with, we want to create the polygon for the shapes created from the points. We just copied and pasted from the website of the documentation. And we want to blend it with a second shape. Now we are creating a second shape to blend with the first shape, and I'll show you how both the polygons look separately and how they blend together. We set up an infinite transition for the bat animation. We create a new box for the bat bird shape. I don't know, it's not a bird, but we'll call it a bird sometimes for simplicity. We rotate and, most importantly, scale and translate to the size of the box. This is very important. Okay, it sounds similar to what we want to achieve, and we just tweak something to get a more sharper result. Okay, it's something similar to what we want. We get this is the polygon 2 and this is the polygon 1. We don't want roundness for the polygon 1, so we get a bit sharper result. Okay, now it's time to create the grass. First, we create a column aligned to the bottom of the screen. Here we come to the shader part. We want to shade the tree trunk, and I just created by myself this shader. You can find it on GitHub. It is a noise mix between two different colors that we're gonna pass as parameters. One is for the bark crevices, which is a bit darker because it's more shadowed, and one is for the more shallow part of the bark, which is a clearer brown. So we go to the box of the tree trunk and we create a random shader based on the AGSL shader tree we created above. And create a shader brush. Set the float uniform resolution of the shader brush, passing the size of the box of the tree trunk, and then we pass the parameters for the two mixed colors of the noise texture of our shader. So we pass a brown and a darker brown. In order to pass them, we must separate the RGBA channels of the colors. We set the color to the brush and put it. Okay, so we changed from color to brush of the draw path, and now we have the brush coloring our path. It's time to color the background, giving a cute night gradient background. And the approach is the same. We create a shader and we create a box and draw with cache inside the box, coloring what we draw with the shader. This background shader is a gradient. It means we're gonna pass two colors, and the program that the shader is running, the graphic program that the shader is running, is taking those two parameters, and which are night red and purple, and just mix them into a nice gradient. If any of those parts is too quick or too fast, you can find Every line of code on my GitHub repo is all free open source. We got some errors, so we took the shader part outside on draw behind and we put it inside the draw with cache, and this magically solves the issue. Here the last final touch is to add a set of stars to our sky, to our night sky. And for this we first try to create a single star, randomizing its position. And we divide by 3 because we want the star to be vertically in the upper part of the screen. We create the morph for the star. And the size. And then we try to repeat the process for 40 stars in the sky. And here we go. We change the size and we tweak a little the rounded polygon. And here we go. If you find this content useful, please like and subscribe to my channel. You can also find my GitHub repo in the link in the description. You will find the links for the repo for the tutorial we developed today, but also you can find the dynamically animated bot right here. I'll release soon a tutorial about this, but you can already find the repo with all the code. It's completely free, so check out my repo if you want to learn about how to real-time animate. And that's it for today. We'll learn how to statically animate. The next tutorial we'll learn how to dynamically animate from external real-time sources. And that's it. Thank you very much for viewing.